Paul gets in, another wide open three.
Pierre Cardin.
Defers to Booker for the long range.
Phoenix. Phoenix Suns, and you know we up next. Yeah, we working for that championship ring. We the valley, it ain't nothing but a thing. Phoenix. Phoenix Suns, and you know we up next. Yeah, we working for that championship ring. We the valley, it ain't nothing but a thing.
Welcome, everybody, to the Aussie Suns Fans podcast. I'm your host, Gavin, and we are here with our one of our favourites and one massive, giant pile of steaming shit. Nate, how are you,
Nate.
my friend? Such a good guy. How you doing, my friend?
This is good. The last time I potted, it was midnight, and I was already well drunk. So this time I'm straight off of work and onto my first one. So let's hope my content is a little more cohesive.
And, of course, the world's greatest pile of steaming shit. Boyd, how are you, my friend?
Very good, buddy. How are you? I miss you guys.
Oh, look, always better to see you, always.
Let's go.
I love the giggle. If you're on here, click like, subscribe, do all that sort of shit. Look after us. Help the algorithms. Boyd wanted to help the algorithms completely the wrong way, but I've sorted him out now. He actually knows what and how it works. So we're going to be good from here on in, Boyd, right?
Yeah, mate. Yeah. You can't blame me for trying, though. At least I'm fucking trying. Not like you cunts. Fucking useless fucks.
Right.
Dude, fuck all. I do all the work for this fucking thing. I get no praise,
Right.
no fucking thanks, no fucking nothing.
Right.
You bludgers sit there and just reaping all the benefits from my hard work.
Benefits.
Next time I see you, Boyd, I will buy you an alcohol-free beer.
Thanks, mate. Thanks.
No, but seriously, if you haven't liked and subscribed, you're costing me money. So hit like and subscribe. Thanks very much. Been a big week, gentlemen, and that's why we're here. We were almost going to wrap it up, but we've got to see it out over the next couple of weeks. But it's been a big week this week in Suns basketball. Of course, our mate, our friend, the kingpin of the Phoenix Suns.
Frank.
Farewell, Frank. We've loved you. Thank you for all that you did for the Phoenix Suns this year, including playing Drew Eubanks far too often. Apparently not starting Isaiah Thomas at point guard because made a massive difference to the Phoenix Suns. All the things you did wrong. It's a sad day. It was a sad day. Boyd, you and I, we were sending each other messages, crying in our soup. We were very upset when it all happened. Nate, I know you were very, very upset that another coach with a 5-year contract got the ass.
What were
your thoughts?
Fucking money, Nate.
What were your thoughts when Frank got the ass, Nate?
Honestly, my first thought was, there it is. I wasn't surprised. Whether or not I thought he deserved to go didn't factor in at all. Why I wasn't surprised, just thought. My whole process of thought around this has been around Book and KD. And at some point, they have to get made accountable. So I think we're done with scapegoats. We can't just keep sacking coaches anymore. We got to start looking at the players. So I just hope very well that KD and Book made this hiring decision. So that way it's on them. And they just have to fucking turn up next year.
Do you really think that Book and KD made this hiring decision?
No.
Neither of them have had anything to do with Bud before.
They probably would have fucking hired Jared Dudley, someone else they could fucking push around. That fucking Shrek-looking cunt. It would have been someone like that. It would have been some fucking.
And if they did
fresh out
that,
of
we would
playing,
have to call them
looking for a
fucking lazy
start.
for wanting to go to Cancun early again.
Who knows, man? Like, I don't. Frank wasn't getting it done. An off season with these guys wasn't going to change things. I don't think. I don't know, man. Look, it could have been anyone named. I mean, Mike Bulldozer was a great resume.
There's no L. It's Budenhoser.
Oh, it's Budenhoser. Buddy.
Budenhoser. So he's perfect because if he fucks up like Frank, the booze will just sound like his name.
Yeah, true. But his name doesn't matter. What his fucking resume is doesn't matter. Like I said, it's probably going to be a real unique type of a coach that's going to come in and get a response out of this squad. And it starts at the top of the big three and then trickles down from there. So he's got to take the bull by the horns and do what Frank couldn't. And that's rein these cunts in and get them playing as a unit. And look, I've been listening to a lot of pods, as you guys most probably have too. And there's a lot of people in there saying, oh, we lack, this team couldn't get the ball movement happening, couldn't get couldn't get out of that ISO, fucking that heavy ISO, habit, and they fucking could. It pisses me off hearing that shit because Gavin, we watch games together, and even through our chat as a group, all 50 fucking plus of us, we've sat there and we've watched and we've seen fucking great ball movement and it's zinging around the perimeter and we're getting easy buckets, right? We fucking saw it. They can do it. They fucking can do it. But they're just not fucking. It was every now and then. It was just there was no consistency to it, and that comes down to them guys, not the fucking coach. It's them not listening. So anyway, Vogel's gone. I thought he was going to be gone. But yeah, look, like I said before, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter unless these cunts fucking wake up to themselves.
But did anyone want to stop and think about the fact that Bud got let go the year after he beat us, and now he's our fucking coach?
Did you agree with Bud getting let go? When he just had that run that he had?
Mate, I think it's the same scenario that we just copped, right? We had an all-star team that just didn't fucking do what they were supposed to, and someone had to go. He was the unlucky fucker on that side of the fence.
What was the final nail in Bud's coffin at the Milwaukee Bucks? Was there a presser with Giannis at some stage where there was it wasn't even a direct stab at him or anything like that. It was just something about the plays didn't suit or something. It was something very vague. But I think that they were a team looking for a scapegoat, similar to what we were.
But at least we scapegoated Laker trash.
Yeah. Vogel's a nice guy. Bud's most probably a really nice guy too. Is he talking to us?
I don't know if he's trying to be in the pod.
No, I was not. I was not. Keep going.
Yeah. So Bud, look, if my memory serves me correctly, it was on the heels of Giannis having some sort of vague shot at him, and if he gets that there with one superstar, what's he going to fucking get here with these guys and their track record with Vogel?
Maybe he learned.
They're laughing at the cunt in the fucking locker room.
Is Bud still getting paid by the Bucks currently? Because Vogel probably would be retired.
No, he won't. He won't be now because the coaches contracts are you get paid until you get rehired. Once you're rehired,
even if you get rehired for less,
doesn't matter.
Okay,
that'll come off what the Bucks still owe him if he was getting paid. So Monty,
I think so.
Monty is only really making the difference between the Suns contract and that the difference between that and the new contract is not making
that was
whole
my
amount.
question, right? Does the contract hold up your value for the full 5 years? So if the next people that hire you pay you a fuckload less, we're still picking up the bill, and the other team's just laughing at us all season?
No,
Not
I
that
don't
anyone's
think
going
that's
to
right.
run to hire Vogel.
That's not right. It's if you take another job, the team that hired you has to pay the full wage that they pay you.
Oh. All right.
So there's no gaps.
So if you're Frankie, you're
But
taking.
we're not paying Monty. Right? We're not paying Monty. Monty's contract is higher than what the Suns were paying him. So, but
and
as soon as he
found him another
signed,
job.
well, true. But as soon as he signed with the Pistons, we stopped paying him. So let's say Frank ends up coaching the Lakers next year. His contract is gone off the Suns' books. Just as an example, his contract's gone. So if the Bucks are still
moving
paying,
to the G League,
I don't think that will pay for his contract. But if Budenholzer was being paid by Milwaukee, it stops now. So, but anyway, I've been dying to say this after watching pods and everything else and hearing everyone's opinion. If anything in The Athletic was true, Frank could not be the coach next year. That's it. Cut and dried. If that article had any truth to it whatsoever, the Suns had to fire him. We said it on the Super Duper Megapod. Boyd, well, I said it on there. I'm happy to say it again. Even after James Jones and Matt Ishbia came out and there were some people going, oh, looks like we're going to keep Frank. We were never, ever keeping Frank. Frank was getting the ass because the players didn't respect him. He had to move on. It was as simple as that.
And that's probably why I wasn't shocked or disappointed.
There was zero choice for the Suns other than firing him and moving on. Because even though I think that continuity is really important, and I think that, and we'll speak about it later, but I think it could be, I think it'll be real. The Suns are going to be better next year, even if we roll out the same team. And that's my opinion.
Your garage light turns off more than the company security settings on my sleep setting on my work laptop. You need to get a new electrician or something, or a ladder so you can reach your roof and fix that shit.
Yeah. Or I just need to be more like
pronounced, more
athletic,
and
flamboyant, and have my hands moving during the pod more often, and the light will stay on.
Do that, please.
Shut your fucking face. Yeah, I didn't believe that Frank would stay, and it did not surprise me in any way, shape, or form that he was given the arse.
Well,
particularly
do you feel that Bud was the right choice over Patrick Ewing?
Well, we can go. we can go into that now. Of course, to replace Frank, and it only took 48 hours, but to replace Frank, we brought in Mike Budenholzer, who destroyed us in the finals 4 years ago now. I don't even fucking know.
The way he destroyed us, though, was tell the biggest guy he's got to run straight down the middle and draw charges. Like, come on.
Okay, that's fair, but it still cost us a title. He's an Arizona native. He grew up supporting the Phoenix Suns. When he was announced, Boyd, how did you feel about Coach Bud coming on board to take over these guys?
Well, my initial thought was, fuck, didn't he just get asked for not having the similar reasons of what Vogel did? So I kind of thought that we were inheriting the same issue that we had previously. But then after, because I wasn't ready. It was so quick. I wasn't ready for such a quick turnaround. Now, I know Gambo came out and said that. I think Gambo came out and said that it was going to be quick, like expected within a week or so. And I thought, fuck.
It turned around quicker than you having children, mate.
Yeah, I know. It's fucking well done. So I'm impressed. But I still thought it was going to drag out a bit longer because I thought, honestly, I thought one of the guys I was waiting for a decision on Tai Lu, which I know that he's already said that he's really happy there.
That was
It
never
going to happen.
It was never going to happen. Hey, and I get that, but I was holding out hope. So I was hoping that there was going to be some sort of
You're holding out something.
discourse between said parties, and there was just going to be a bit of a search. But it does definitely look like they've had an eye on old Mike, old Woods, fucking 70.
Well,
fucking
he
68 most probably.
was kind of one of the ones last year too, right? It got down to Frank.
Wasn't he still?
Woods
Was he still hired then?
and Nick Nurse? No,
He wasn't. He was
Probably
out.
a little bit too much recency bias to bring him on last year.
Yeah, but I mean, what else is out there? Realistically, what else is out there now?
Patrick Ewing. And
Patrick
I'm not saying
Ewing
this
is-
because I'm not saying
No.
this because I believe it. I'm saying this just to piss Jake. I just want to piss on Jake on our pod. That's all I'm doing it for.
that whole fucking Patrick Ewing thing and Jake at Fallen Founder. There's literally nobody else in this entire universe talking about Patrick Ewing to the fucking Suns as any type of a coach, except that
there is
cunt. And
nobody
it's just-
in this fucking universe that is saying Patrick Ewing to any job in the NBA.
I know.
No one.
I know, except Jake. Jake probably saw some fucking highlights of him playing for the Knicks back in the day from the 90s,
Yeah.
and he's gone,
It's like why
man,
he
he was
likes
fucking,
Giannis
he was good.
because he sees
Man, he's
Giannis
good.
highlights instead of Giannis
Yeah.
trying to injure people. It's anyway.
Exactly.
Stop shitting on Jake.
He's very thin skin. He's very easily influenced. Jake.
Just stop shitting on Jake. We
Shitting
love you,
on
Suns
Jake.
Planet. Suns Planet doing a great job. We're not going to shit on Jake anymore. Boyd, keep
Suns
going.
Planet hasn't been the same since Sunderus left. I will say that. It's there's a lot.
That's
There's less.
that's for
there's
the best,
less,
right?
there's
Is that what
less
you're getting
hot
at?
takes. There's less hot takes. Old Sunderus. I wonder what he's up to now. I have to reach out to him. Anyway. Anywho, boys. Yeah, so what are your thoughts on Big Mike? Big Mike getting that Magic Mike. What are your thoughts on Magic Mike?
Did you see Hamo host Suns Planet and you're trying to take over now, or is that what's going on?
Oh,
That's
mate.
what I was.
Mate,
You never finished your own fucking opinion on Big Bud.
I'm going to give Hamo some props right there. He did a very good job.
He did a good job. Did a
hosting.
great job.
Check
out
was not
Suns
sure
Planet.
how he would. I was not sure how he would go, and I was actually because I was on there, and I was actually thinking, you know what? He's actually interjecting at the right times. He's doing a good job here.
He did
I've
a
only
sensational job the other night.
I've
Check
only
out
seen
Suns
half of
Planet,
it,
people.
and there was not even nearly enough of the fucking famous Hemo cocksucks that I was thinking that there was going to be with him hosting. He done a great job steering it, and you know, between the transitions and all that sort of shit. But I'm used to Hemo getting on there and saying that guy that does their fucking drops, he usually goes, "Oh, and thank you, fucking Josh, fucking whatever. Thank you, Josh, for doing such a fucking
Can we
job on that
can we
drop."
move back to the Aussie Suns Fans podcast now, boys?
Yeah, of
Great.
course we can.
What were your thoughts, Nate, on Coach Bud?
Didn't we just do this?
I
Did you
did.
give your thoughts?
I thought I did
Boyd
earlier,
did.
but when he first, yeah, and that's why I forgot that you asked me. When he first got announced, I honestly thought, they could have done a lot worse. They could have really fucked this up. And the first thought that I had when Coach Bud got hired was very similar to the first thought I had when Vogel got hired, but for different reasons. So when Vogel got hired, I didn't like it because he's ex-Laker trash. I just didn't want the Lakers coach that won a chip. Then when they announced Coach Bud, I'm like, oh, this is not a bad hire. And then I'm like, but he coached a team to a championship over the top of us. Prick. So I'm kind of torn, but I honestly think he'll do a better job with the team than Vogel did. 100%.
My thought
from an
was
ex- oh, okay.
By the look on your face, boy, did you see your dick in a mirror or something? You started laughing for no reason.
No, I'm just laughing at fucking Brendan Irwin, and he's from the same suburb as Steve Irwin, just quietly up on the sunny coast. So there's probably some fucking
Fuck, you've come up with some fucking useless stats already. 20 minutes in, and
It
you've
wasn't a
spoken
fucking
more
stat,
shit
mate.
than you have all year.
Yeah, thanks.
So
Okay.
what is this? A new segment. How many Irwins are interrelated on the Sunshine Coast? Fucking is this Boyd's new input for the show?
This is a fucking shambles. This is a shambles. Hamo, we need you back. My first thought was when we hired Coach Bud, or the talk was that Coach Bud was going to be hired, that we got Frank Vogel with a beard. Another nice guy who just lets his team do whatever the fuck he wants, or whatever the fuck they want. It wouldn't surprise me if that's precisely it wouldn't surprise me if that's precisely what happens. But I said it on Twitter afterwards because I already went on a rant beforehand and everyone went, well, what do you think now? Okay. I'm not Boyd, who has flipped completely and hates everything about the Suns now. As soon as we hired Coach Bud, I am now on board with Coach Bud. I am going to give him the benefit of the doubt and hope that he delivers. You guys are well aware that I wanted them to go with somebody who was closer to the game and not as far removed from the game. I really wanted to see us go after a JJ Redick type. But we've hired Bud. I'm okay with it.
There was always the argument against what you said with JJ Redick being that the rookie coaches, regardless of being ex-point guards making the best coaches, they don't make the best impact in their first few years. They need something else under their bed.
Don't they?
Well, Jason Kidd sucked.
Who's okay?
Jason Kidd sucked
who's in the playoffs now?
Yeah, I said in their first couple of years.
Who's the best team in the NBA right now? They come from the East, is his point.
So the answer is a rookie.
The Boston Celtics are the best team in the NBA right now. Their coach is a rookie. The OKC Thunder improved out of sight last year with a rookie coach, and this year we're the best team in the West.
You just said the Boston Celtics.
The Houston Rockets were fucking terrible. Bought a rookie coach, he's kind of a rookie coach. He got done for
not really
trying to make out with people in his own organization when he was at Boston.
You don't,
but
mate.
he's now
a rookie, mate.
He's only in his second year, mate.
Kev,
Second year.
I wasn't going completely shit on you,
buddy.
Okay.
There's merit to what Nate's saying. And just because there's a fucking outlier happening over East with that fucking scumbag franchise, the Boston Celtics, doesn't mean it was going to be replicated over here.
It is a scumbag franchise.
And Gavin, the fact that I'm so deeply scorned over
keep going because you're wrong so bad.
The fact that I'm so deeply scorned by the fucking dribble that our team fucking put out there in last season, this season just gone, means I'm a more passionate.
Why weren't you so pissed off the year before? Why weren't you so pissed off the year before?
Because there was effort for the most part, and I had something to hang my fucking hat on.
There was effort. They won less games the year before.
Come on now. We all liked what Monty did with the team. We saw player change. We saw player development. We saw an actual team.
Not 2 years.
Right to the end, yeah, it changed, and we didn't miss him. But what Boyd's talking about with Monty and why he wasn't disappointed, we all agreed on. We loved Monty for a good portion of that time.
Of course we did. It's just Gavin just jumps on whatever fucking narrative is going current. And
actually, while he's muted,
that's a fucking load of shit, Boyd. I have never ever fucking jumped on anyone else's narrative but my own, and I'm fucking sick of that shit. What is the narrative that I've jumped on that's everyone else's? Pull it out. Show me right now. Put it on the fucking board.
Hey,
Put it
I'm
on.
not, I haven't got a fuck.
Put it
I
on.
haven't got a
No,
fucking
I want
diary
to hear
on,
it
mate.
now. You just
Listen,
told me that all I
listen.
do is jump on
Yeah,
narratives.
you
Let's
do.
go. Let's
You
go.
fucking do all the time.
Just give me one. Just give me one.
I haven't got a little black book, but what I'll do
Okay,
moving
so
forward
you
is I'll
haven't.
fucking point it out.
You want to
every
make
single
that
time you do it.
statement, but you haven't even got one.
I'll think of some throughout the pod, and I'll drop them on you every now and then.
Why
Well,
not?
fucking, you
just
want me to
fucking
think
take
about it,
your
I'll think
time
about
and
it.
find one.
But you do.
Tell me
You fucking do it
what
all the
narrative
time.
it is. Tell me. I'm
Okay.
waiting.
This is
Bulldozer,
officially
mate.
the best part of my Monday.
Bulldozer.
This is great.
Right there. There's a freshie. And I'll come up with some more as we go. Now carry on with the
Well,
pod.
there's a freshie what? There's a freshie what that I'm going to support the Phoenix Suns. What a fucking shock.
You
Can I
changed your
bring this
mind
back,
because
Jim?
somebody else said something. And you
I
just
haven't
fucking-
changed shit.
You
I haven't
fucking
changed
have, mate.
shit. How have I
Like,
changed
Nobody's
anything?
changed their
Within
tampon,
the space
apparently.
of 48 hours, you did.
What?
Within the
You
space
want
of
me to
48
be one of
fucking
those
hours.
fucking people? You want me to be one of those people that sits there and supports failure just because I want to be right about Bud? No, I want Bud to succeed because I want the Suns to succeed. That's got nothing to do with jumping on a narrative. That's
You
got
can still
everything
have
to
some
do with
constructive
wanting
you can still
my
have some
team
criticism,
to
man.
fucking.
You
I
can
did
still have
have
some
my criticism.
criticism.
I
Take-
just
I'll just
said
leave
my
you two girls
criticism.
at it.
buddy.
He's Frank Vogel. I said he's Frank Vogel with a beard. I made my criticism clear. But I said I'm on board because I'm going to support my team.
Hey,
I want to
buddy,
know what
buddy.
narratives I
Hey.
just fucking jump on.
Or you can't. I just told you I can't think of them right now, but I'll fucking tell you when I do.
You can't think of them because they ain't fucking
They're
there.
fucking. They're everywhere, mate. And because I'm on the
All
show
right,
now,
all right. Let me
and
bring this
I'm
back.
pretty
Let me
pissed
bring this
off.
back to where
I'm
this
pretty pissed
started.
off with the way you're carrying on. I'm just going to fucking.
Well,
I'm going to a blank.
because it keeps coming back to fucking me jumping on I didn't jump on shit. And I haven't. I've got
Gav,
my opinions
you
and they're
have.
strong. And that's
Gav,
it.
you are a
Well,
loud
they're strong.
individual. You
They're strong.
attract retaliation. That's all you did. You attracted retaliation. All right. Coming back to your point, JJ
Assistant
Redick.
coaches. Who are we bringing in as assistant
That's
coaches?
who I want to say would make a great assistant coach in their first year. JJ Redick next to Budenhauser. There, I think you have an argument for a good duo.
Well, what I mean is, I mean, we're used to picking up the scratch from the Lakers. So Darvin Ham's out there. He's got a relationship with Mike Budenholzer.
Fuck that. Fuck that.
There's
So
been
why
plenty
not-
of
why not
rumours about
Darvin
Darvin
Ham?
Ham. Darvin Ham's
No
a
more.
good.
No
There's
more
there's
Laker
a chance that
excretion.
Darvin Ham comes across because there's plenty of talk about Darvin Ham coming across. There's a good chance he comes over as an assistant. It wouldn't surprise me. Let's put it that way, boy. It would not surprise me.
We're agreeing on something. That's fucking good. Great. Are we back, Gavin? Are we back?
We
You
never
can gob
left,
each
mate,
other
but
off
I'm
on
going
the
to call
show.
you out. I'm going to call you in.
Are
I'm
we
going to
back?
call you out on your bullshit.
Hey, are we face to face or head to toe?
Yeah, depends on the night. Like there's always different. You know, it's.
I know you
well,
want face to face.
What's
you left,
next on your
you left
agenda
out.
there?
You left out Dick to back too, but who else? Who else do you think could potentially come in as an assistant coach? With I don't know whether any of you guys have had a look at what Coach Bud's done in the past, type of assistant coaches, all that sort of stuff. Look, Nate, I agree with you. I'd love to see JJ Redick come into the league as an assistant coach. I don't think he will. Honestly, I think Redick ends up as coach of the Lakers.
Who's
I
that,
really do
you guys
think
might be
that's
able to.
where they're
You
at.
guys might be able to help me out with this guy's name. And I don't know if he's coaching at the moment anywhere, but he was a really good defensive coach. I think he played for the Supersonics. Is it Nate McMillan?
Oh,
Wow,
mate,
yeah. Hell yeah.
He was a
head coached
really good
somewhere.
coach. I think he didn't
He
take
did get a
over
coaching role.
from
Was he
Mike
in
at
Indiana?
Atlanta
Oh, it might have been
Possibly.
Atlanta. Yeah, it might have been Atlanta.
after
and
after-
Trae Young
after
got him
Mike
fired.
Budenholzer. Possibly. But yeah, Nate McMillan, I haven't heard. Like, he could be somewhere just staying quiet and just fucking doing his job like a legend. But he's a guy that I thought was really good, and he was a guy that I felt like he registered with the players. I thought he was like a players coach, but defensively, an assistant coach with them type of defensive chops from what I remember, I think he'd be fucking great if he's not already working somewhere.
It's, the challenge defensively for the Suns, and look, it was one of the biggest concerns at the start of the year. We don't really have the coach to implement systems. Now, Nate was a great defensive coach pre Trae Young, and the reason he had a falling out with Trae Young was because he wanted Trae to actually play defense.
Defense. He didn't want to.
But the rest of that Atlanta team was really, really strong defensively. John Collins was good defensively. Clint Capella obviously is very good defensively. They've spoken about him as a defensive player of the year candidate in previous years. Someone mentioned Okongwu today. Like, Atlanta had a strong defensive unit. The Suns' biggest problem this year was our lack of defense when we put the big three out there and try to fill in around them, particularly with maybe a couple of other guys that can spread the floor. Nurk had a great season. I thought Nurk had a great season, and defensively he was solid, right? He wasn't shit, but he wasn't great. But he was solid.
You can't judge our assistant coaches on the garbage we fucking put on the court.
Well, the big thing is this year too is Frank Vogel's known as a defensive coach. So I'm assuming that Frank Vogel took responsibility for our defense this year, right?
Hope you fucking did.
Boyd?
You know what I'd like to see on our coaching stuff? It'll never fucking happen. This is pie in the sky shit. This will never fucking happen because his name's always floated around as a head coach candidate and would never give up his ESPN money for it. Fucking Jeff Van Gundy. Fuck, I love that guy. Now, I don't think he's got the ESPN money anymore, but I don't know if he's taken an assistant coach's job. But that guy's presence, what he's done in the international teams, what he's done with young players, what he's succeeded in senior levels, given his ESPN in time, I think that would have been an interesting, like I said, fairy tale to have on our assistant coach.
So for me, JFG or JVG is like Mike D'Antoni when everyone was talking about D'Antoni coming back and coaching the Suns. They've been away for the game for 7, 8, 9, 10 years.
No, but he was always involved in the Team USA, the juniors and whatnot as well. So,
what about? How about we try and link? Let's try and make this link, and it's one that everyone loves. What about? We all know Mike's an Arizonian, right? He grew up loving the Suns, and that was his team, and he was a fan first, and that's what we're going to love about him, I think. What if there are some old stalwarts of the club brought back in an assistant coaching role?
Like Richard Arizonians or
Richard
Suns?
Harley's available?
No, just
GCU fucked him up.
Because I was going to go RJ because he's Arizonian, right?
No, thanks. No, I'm thinking your fucking Sean Marion, like
Dan Marley.
guys who are
Dan Marley is
Marley.
the defensive coach.
Penny Hardaway doing a great job coaching at the moment in high school. Who else is there? What about TC? What about Eddie Johnson? What about these old flames that know basketball, have great IQ, have a lot of respect for the club, the players respect? And I look, it's
fucking EJ's not a bad call.
Just because they're cool names, I'm just throwing them out there. It doesn't mean
I'm not against EJ at all.
See,
EJ's a
No,
great
he's the one commentator that calls a spade on our own fucking team every game. And he watches every game.
What I'm saying is that wouldn't that be a cool story? And could you get? I could get behind that, and because I
go full Arizonian with Phoenix Suns ties.
Full 90s, man. Full fucking 80s, late 80s, 90s. Let's go.
Like Westfall's unit and Mark West and
bring the balls back.
Yeah, I don't mind.
Play some real basketball.
Bud with Dan Marley for the defensive coach. Penny is the offensive coach. And
EJ is a locker room role model.
We don't need a development coach because we have no young guys. And
Well, we got a lot of players
Could
that
you
need
imagine?
development or new contracts either way. Fuck.
Could you
I
imagine
think
these
that's the next
cunts if
segment,
they
right? In and out.
if they roll over, if they turn an ankle at training or something or in a game and they're thinking about sitting out, you imagine EJ rocking up to him saying, "Fucking get up, cunt! You're fucking."
Put a
you're not
band-aid
gonna-
on it, you fuck
Mate,
stick.
you got two of them.
play-
You
play
got
through
two of
that.
them, mate. You got two of them.
Yeah, that's
Fucking
right.
hard enough.
You got another one. You got another one that's about fucking 5 centimeters away from that one. You cunt. Get out there and play. Oh, fuck.
All right, gents.
Uh,
What about? Let's talk about the now, Boyd. You're probably going to be able to lead the way in this one. The
As
guys
always.
on,
And you can just
Outburger
you can just
segments.
pick up on whatever I say.
the guys with those 1 year vet contracts that have player options. So I know we've got Drew Eubanks, Eric Gordon. Who else has got Josh Okogie, I think, has
Damian
a player
Lee.
option. Damian Lee.
think
That's
that's
about
it.
it, right?
As a Buki's done, isn't he?
He's a
Two-way.
two-way.
I'm just looking through all of this shit, and there's a whole bunch of contracts that are just done.
And so let's talk about those four in particular. Have we got any team? No, we traded all the team option ones, right?
I'm
Which was
pretty sure.
KBD, Chemezi, Utah. They were all the team option ones. So Eric Gordon,
Right. Oh,
Eric
so I
Gordon,
think Basketball
Josh
Reference is
Okogie.
out of date because Grayson Allen's coming back. Royce O'Neal's not on the books yet, apparently.
Royce is the other one we'll talk about because he hasn't signed.
Bol, Thad Young, Ish Wainwright,
Oh.
IT, Saban, and Azubuike are not on the books.
Yeah, because they're all team options,
Two
right?
ways.
Well, actually,
Two ways.
no, Bol is not a two-way.
It's just a one-year
No,
contract.
no.
But he doesn't.
So-
Does he?
Thad Young's
He
actually
doesn't.
the expired contract.
Did Bol
So
not have
the
an
one
option
thing you
at
said
all?
originally. No, he didn't.
Well, I'm
He's
looking
a-
on
he's
this,
an
and
he's an
it
unrestricted
just
free
says
agent.
$2 million 1 year, no colouring on next year.
Okay.
So
So
here's
they
the
got
thing:
green and blue
all this
for-
chatter around Drew Eubanks and the Suns not bringing him back, and then all of a sudden, he's got a fucking option, man. Like, he's gonna.
No,
Yeah, he's gonna.
no, he's an outright contract for 2.6 mil.
Yeah, no, he's got an option. Definitely has
Yeah,
an
so
option.
he's got it. So what he's got, Nate, is a
Well,
player.
Basketball
option. It's not
Reference
an
is fucking this up then because Basketball Reference says
That's all
Damian
right.
Lee has a player option, David Roddy has the team option, and then both Josh Okogie and Eric Gordon have player options. But it's saying that Bol has no option and Drew Eubanks is on a solid 2.6 contract next year.
Well, maybe they think that he's already picked it up.
Next
but
year.
I don't think he has picked it up yet. He's only back. I think he's just said that he wants to come back. But and yeah, that's why the narrative around that changes. It goes from Gambo saying, I think Gambo was saying that, yeah, we're not going to
interested in
continue
bringing him
on.
back,
Yeah. And then of course he sort of backflipped when he found out that there was a new coach, and that's possibly right. It's possibly right that Mike Budenholzer might actually have an appetite to keep Drew Eubanks there. Who knows? But Drew Eubanks thinks that he's a goer. But here's the thing: as soon as he picks up
Drew's
that,
definitely got one, right? It's 2.65 million for next
Yep.
year. So he's
And he will
a
pick it up.
tradable asset for not. You can't trade him for fucking much.
Roddy's the only team option according to Basketball Reference.
All right, so let's roll through them. We'll start with Royce O'Neal. Boyd, are we going to sign Royce to an extension? Is he coming back?
yes, he is. Just out of look, I like him as a player. I don't think we saw the real Royce O'Neal in the systems that he was probably promised that he was going to be in. And he is streaky, and he was streaky. But I think that there's a lot more to his game that wasn't unlocked in this offense because of the way that we sort of jammed it up with the big three. There's definitely a world where he comes out and has a fucking banger bounce back fucking season. So yeah, I think that we definitely do out of contractual necessity as well, just to have that piece that we can dangle and attach one of these picks to. So look,
he
I'm
was
hoping
on
that gets
he was
done.
on 9.5 last year. What can we bump
Yeah.
him to? It's about 13 mil, right?
Yeah, it's up. I think it's up to as much as 14, 15 maybe even.
Yeah, because
If
he came
gets,
as a trade, not a buyout. So we got some.
So do
rights
you
back to
Do you
resign
think
him.
there's
is it
a
30%? 30%, man.
Do you think there's a chance that we sign him to the extension with the bump up and trade him?
Mathematically, we have to sign him.
Oh, we have to.
Yeah,
From
yeah.
my
Mathematically,
perspective,
we have to sign him.
We have
Yeah.
to.
Yeah. And look, and there is, but there's a cool down on that. There's like for depending on when it's done.
December.
Um,
December or January. It's
it's
either
like 3
December or
months.
January, right?
There's a cool down now of 3 months, I think, but there is a cool down. So yeah, but definitely that's the type of fodder that we need moving forward to make changes to this roster outside of minimums, basically. But yeah, definitely.
So, boys, for
definitely
you, we re-sign him. We give him his 30%, and he comes back.
Yeah.
No.
Well, immediately off the back of that, I think you're right. We dangle him. He's the carrot. We dangle it out there. We don't necessarily take anything because worst case scenario, we keep him not the worst. If you look at everything on our bench, he was pretty playable to bring back. For me, he was, J Boss 99 Crowder. But before we hated him, same kind of player, same kind of streakiness. Didn't dance as much, but, I didn't mind seeing him on our court. No, I used to love watching Jay Crowder on our court when he actually fucking played. Before he had his little bitch fit and his tantrum and his overcrowded tampon for the fucking 12 months that he was on our bench. All that shit aside, and the jersey, I obviously just said mathematically we've got to re-sign him. We don't have enough cap space not to dangle him as a carrot. You have to see what else you can get for him. Worst case scenario, we keep him. Not the worst case.
Yeah, I tend to agree. I think we re-sign Royce. He's 30 years old. He's going to be 31 next season. We re-sign Royce. We hold on to him. If it's, I think you're right, Boyd. I think it's about that 13, 14, maybe even 15 million. I'm not sure what it is, but even there at that 14, 15 million mark, there's not a lot out there that we could trade him for. So I think we get the 14 mil and that's it.
We've still got the Nazir Little contract.
Oh, we cannot stack.
Oh, we can't?
No.
Oh, fuck.
So the way that it works, Nate, is
fuck doing this pod, then. I'm going somewhere else. Hey, Suns Planet.
The second apron basically means that we can't combine two salaries to send out for a larger salary. However, we can send out one of our salaries for multiple salaries that amount to that number. So we can get multiple. We can stack them coming in.
We can bring multiple
going
in.
out.
Yeah, correct.
Which is
Which is interesting enough because the next one I'll talk about, he's already signed an extension, is Grayson Allen. What was his extension? He was 18 mil?
Yeah, so I think he ends. So he has the 8% increments every year, or 7 or 8%, and I think he ends on around about 20, 22 million or something like that. So it started at around about that 15 mark, and sort of inches its way up over the span of it's a 4 year, 75, Gav. I think it was from memory.
4 years, 70.
I'll come back on Hamo. Just wait a minute. It's all right.
Hamo's
4 years, 70.
He's gonna love this.
Yeah, 4 years, 70 million.
Yeah. So look, that's going to be our easiest out. But we don't want.
I was gonna say, is that the, as much as so many will hate it, that's our easily our most tradable piece.
If we want something significant, that's it. That's where it likely happens, unless of course these picks, like people are saying, you actually have some value. So I'm a glass half full guy. I don't think our 2031 first round pick is going to be great because I think they're going to be winning 83 fucking games every season. So I don't think
He's even got the play-in tournament included. Fuck.
Get rid of that 2031 pick. If someone thinks that it's fucking going to be great, well, it's the best fool's gold that we've ever had. Let's get what we can when we can get it, attach it to something, and get something significant back. But again, Grayson Allen's the best 3-point shooter in the entire competition. Like, what are we going to get that's better? That suits what we need.
So was Cam Johnson 2 seasons ago.
He was, and he's gone downhill. But
who's the other guy on the bottom of our roster that hasn't played a fucking game? Damian Lee.
So was Damian Lee. It's also correct.
Grayson Allen, though. Yes. Grayson Allen, he strikes two chords with me. The first thing's culture. We wanted a mongrel. We got one. He's now our mongrel. He won the Dan Marley Hustle Award. Whether or not you believe he should have won it or not, Gav, he won it. You're right about the math. Okay, the contract is the best piece we have to get something potentially better or flashier. But is it worth the risk to our culture, to our starting five, to what the fan base wants? Is it worth the risk? Genuine question.
You're trading Grayson?
Yeah.
Well, you have to tell me what's coming back.
Well, that's the point. Is it worth the risk?
Fan base will get over it like they have everything else.
They will.
Sometimes. Except McAllen can. Because some are over it, some are still not over it. But I'm over it.
But if you want to be a destination, sometimes you've got to preach a little more than just this year. Especially if you want someone coming back under 30 or Royce at an age where you want to re-sign him.
This is where I kind of disagree. This market right now just wants a championship.
Oh, I agree with that. But do you not think some people still want to be with an organization for more than 1 year? They don't want to pack their family up again. Yeah, the players. I'm talking the players.
Yeah, of course.
And
of course they do.
I'm just thinking there's more things to consider when you're looking at personnel than just the math.
But we've still got enough value that there's players out there that would look at a potential trade, and let's say we use Grayson Allen as the piece. There's people still out there right now that would go, I'm happy to be traded to Phoenix because they're a title contender. Because they've got Devin Booker, Kevin Durant, Bradley Beal. I'm happy to go there.
And a new coach they don't know that we'll listen to.
Will that be the same in 3 to 5 years? Maybe not. But you
have to admit, though, Grayson Allen, this is both sides of the story here. Grayson Allen is both still on an upward trajectory. Every year in the league, he's gotten better, and he definitely got better in his first year with us, which makes him more tradable, more desirable. But on the flip side, we want to see how far he can go, right?
I don't know. I still look.
Hey guys,
I loved what Grayson did, right? And I'm a huge Grayson Allen fan, and if he comes back next year, I'm going to have no issue with that. But if he's our piece that can bring pieces in that elevates this team more, then I'm okay with trading him. I know I'm not allowed to have an opinion, Boyd, but
I'll tell you what, though.
No, I'm happy for
you to have
Brooklyn
yours, to take him.
I'm happy for you to have your opinion.
Fellas,
what about Nurk? What about Nurk? I'd be happy to trade Nurk too. And
that's what I was saying.
The problem is finding a center, right? Like, what's out there that we can trade for him? Like, Nurk is, to me, Nurk is Vucevic light.
I was just about to say that.
And Vuce is on 30 mil a year.
Yeah.
Like, what do we bring in? What do we bring in that improves it? Now, Nick Claxton is a name that gets mentioned a lot. Nick Claxton would be great, but are Brooklyn really going to trade Nurk for Nick Claxton?
I'm thinking. Here's what I'm thinking, Gav. I don't think it's a matter of like I think we're getting great bang for buck with Nurk. But I'm looking at the size of his salary, and I'm looking at Mike Budenholzer, and it's been said around the traps that he's probably not the best fit for a Mike Budenholzer offense. So with that being said, and us needing to make and Drew Eubanks for that matter isn't a space the floor big either, which is what Mike wants. It's what he traditionally likes.
I think we're all going to agree on the fact that we don't care if he comes.
Are you going where my mind also sits? Because I hope so.
I haven't got anywhere to go with it. I'm trying to see if you guys have any good ideas on what's out there.
I do, but it's the guy that punched Drew Eubanks in the face.
Isaac Stewart.
He spreads the floor. He's a fucking animal.
Dirty Pistons player.
What do the Pistons want from us?
What is Brook Lopez
at the moment, the Pistons will probably take another draft pick because they got screwed again.
Yeah, they're fucking. Pistons aren't really renowned for making astute business moves either, I guess. So we might be able to prey on them bastards.
And Matt Ishbia could just walk in as a sponsor and go, listen, we're going to trade Naz Little for Isaiah Stewart. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I do.
Brook Lopez is getting $24 million a year. Fuck, he is overpaid. You were talking about people that worked in Bud's system. I'm like, we've got Bud's 83. We've got a coach Mike Bud coming in,
The problem with Brook Lopez is Houston Rockets tried to get him last year and overinflated his salary. Big time.
Well, clearly, 24 is a bit much. But fuck it.
Anyway.
Think he'd win us though, right? That guy on our team, oh my God, we'd love him.
He'd be a perfect fit in Phoenix. Brook Lopez. Perfect fit.
Yeah.
Spreads the floor.
Injured all the time. Injured all
the time. Defends the basket when he does play his 42 games.
I'm getting answers.
All right, boy, Nasir Little. Are we going to trade him? $6 million. Who's going to take that shit ass? Now, everyone always said Nas was our fucking trade piece. He has 3 years left, 6.7 mil, 7.2 mil, 7.7 mil. Is anyone taking that piece of shit contract and Nasir Little?
I want to leave with the Detroit Pistons.
Here's the thing with Nasir Little. He didn't really get much time to really prove himself.
Is it because he
came in spot minutes?
Yeah, there's a reason for that.
How do we know? How do we know? We were so fucking dead set on playing certain guys, and I still think that this guy isn't going to be in China next season. That's for fucking sure. He's not even after this contract. I think he gets another contract, but he just has to find. He needs to find the right coach, the right playing group, and I think that there are teams out there that will take a swing on him.
Yeah, hang on a minute. I think there's one that's not so stupid.
That Naz gets another contract in 27-28, but
I'm just going to be a cunt here. I'm going to be a cunt. I'm going to say the best destination for him is the Golden State Warriors.
Okay.
Because absolute rubbish dump shit with bad contracts goes there and does well. They did something with Andrew Wiggins. They managed to fucking do something with Chris Paul. They seem to manage salary caps without any no regard at all.
And what do the Warriors
where
have?
They sit on their player salaries. Well, that's the point. They still suck.
No, but what do the Warriors have? And what's made them so successful is that they've had a big.
They develop players better than other people.
Well, there's that as well. But they had a great big three, a really good big three that bought into a system and fucking did whatever it took. That's what they fucking had, and
they get players that buy into a system and development. Well, who does that sound like? Coach Pop. the Warriors seem to be looking like the next San Antonio Spurs.
Well, I don't care about the comparison to the Spurs, Nate. I care about the comparison to, the reference to them being interested in Nasir Little. You're right. They could probably get.
I didn't say interested. I just said destination-wise.
They're not taking.
Nasir Little. If we can, we will trade him, I suppose. If we can't, he
just
fucking stays here until
it's a dump off, right? It's at best it's a dump off, and we're looking at a Washington Wizards, Detroit Pistons type situation.
All we need to do with Nasir Little.
Good thing the Ishbia is
financially
connected, not to the Pistons.
We need to get him some burn. We need to get him a little bit of burn, right, throughout the season, before leading up to the trade deadline. We need to get him some burn, and we need to get him to play a specific role and just do that. Don't try and reinvent yourself. Don't try and push the boundaries of, adding to your bag. Just go out there, play kick-ass defense, and knock down a three every now and then. And that's all he has to do to get some trade value.
I think his contract's too long.
Can we package up any salaries?
He needs to. No, we can't. He needs to be.
We cannot include two players at all.
No,
his contract is peanuts. It's absolutely
it's peanuts. But unless you can, so I think there's more chance we get rid of him the year after when his contract for 2 years is 15 mil, and you can buy him out. Nobody gets bought out with 3 years on a contract.
No chance.
No, I'm not. Don't. That's fucking. That's foolish to think that he's going to get bought out. It's like I said. It's a nothing contract. With the size of the cap and all that sort of shit, $6 million is not that much. And here's the thing: don't write him off as a player either. A player that can contribute. He didn't get the time to fucking.
He's no good, mate.
He didn't get the fucking time. We don't know. How the fuck do we know?
He's no good. He didn't get the time because he's no good, boy.
Yeah.
He's no good.
Well,
Eric,
you know more than everyone else in the world then.
No, it's my opinion, and I think he's no good. If he comes out next year and he's fucking great and a contributor, fantastic.
So,
I just don't know how you, Gavin,
people just start throwing the little memes at you all year.
I just don't know how you can say he's no good when you haven't seen him play.
Well,
any extended minutes.
Because the professionals who are there coaching these teams don't let him play extended minutes because he's no good. Anyway, Eric Gordon, does he pick up
fucking sacked?
Does he pick up his option, Eric Gordon?
It's a very good question.
I don't think he does. I don't think he was happy. I don't think he was a happy camper, and shit didn't go his way. And he struggled a bit. I think that he goes out and tries to get whatever he can. I don't know who's going to want him in free. Look, he's going to have a conversation with his manager, and if there is an appetite out there for someone, maybe it's a biannual exception. Around about that $5 to $6 million. It's
he's not getting that.
He's getting now.
He's a vetman tops. It's just a matter of whether or not he sees a fit at a championship contender now, I reckon.
Look,
he's a vet minimum tops.
I'll put it this way. I think if he has not got word that there's a biannual exception out there for him, and his manager says no, there's fucking nothing, mate. There's crickets. I think he picks up his option in that case. He
picks up. Okay. You think in that case he stays at Phoenix and says I'm already with the championship contender. Okay.
Yeah, I think so.
All right, Josh Okogie, does he stay in Phoenix?
Do I get a comment? What the fuck?
Oh, sorry.
Back to Sun Planet. Fuck this shit.
Nate, Eric Gordon.
I think we've got a disgruntled camper. We weren't happy. He wasn't happy. I don't think this is the fit for him. We wanted him for so long. He was the right fit when we first went for him. 3-4 years later, when we finally get him, I don't think he did what we were expecting. He certainly didn't do what he was expecting. He didn't get the game time he was expecting. He was split between starters and backups. I don't think the fit was right for either side. He doesn't need to be on this team next year, but he's thinking about what is guaranteed money, and he doesn't have a lot of it left. So I think when he realizes his market's a little bit fucking shite, he'll pick up his player option, and then we have to dangle him. And we might get fucking nothing for him. We might get a second pick for him, but
we are getting
it
nothing.
might be worth getting him off the team for just a second round pick 5 years from now.
He's 3.3 million next year. We're getting absolutely nothing because we can't stack it.
If you think about acquiring picks 3 years, 5 years from now, there's nothing to say that James Jones is still our general manager in that 3 years, 5 years from now. We might actually get somebody that knows how to fucking draft.
That's why he doesn't give a flying fuck whether or not we get picks. Josh Okogie, Boyd.
Yeah, I think he's back.
2.95 million next year.
Player option.
Yeah, that's just the standard incremental shit on his minimum, which is player option. I think he's back. Yeah, and look, he's got some issues, man. Like he needs to fucking get out of his own head and lose them yips that he's had all season, fucking last 2 seasons. But what he is that point of attack defender at his best, and he is the perfect complementary piece when it comes to a big three that don't like to play defense all the time. He is a guy that can spark something. So he's a guy that we need, but we need a bit more from him. So yeah, look, I think he comes back. I think he's got a point to prove. And I think he wants to win a chip in Phoenix.
Nate.
Well, let's look at where he had his best season. He was utilized well. He blended well with the starters. He played in and out of the starting lineup. And this year, not only did he not even get a look in, and all the pre-season pods, we had him as an option for that 5th starting point. That's 5th starting position, I mean. And he not only did he not get it, he barely got any minutes and got pushed down the roster. So when you want to call it yips, you want to call it lack of opportunity. I want to look at what he did when he was on the court, and he looked desperate. He looked like he was overplaying his hand all the time on the court. I think Boyd was onto something that it was just, let's get this year behind him. I think he absolutely wants to be here, takes the player option, comes back. Maybe with the new coach, he gets different opportunity. I kind of think he's got more to show us again. I think we may not get the Josh Okogie role player that was the Dan Harley Hustle Player of the Year award guy, but we're going to get a better Josh Okogie than we did last season, and we're not going to get anything better than that for his salary.
I think the injury really hurt him when it came to court time. So I'm hoping the dude can stay fit, because I think when he finally got his opportunity in the playoffs, he sort of showed how valuable he can be to this team. We don't need to spread the floor 5 wide, but we can't have him and Nurk on the floor with the big three. One of those two has to be able to shoot as well.
Yeah, Nurk dropped fucking 10%. His 3-point percentage on his previous year, albeit it was an injured year and it was only a small sample size, but he was shooting close to 36%, and he dropped to, I think it was close to 26%.
Even his foul shooting next year, Nurk was pretty poor.
It was
right?
It was fucking. It was. As soon as Ramadan came around, he's shooting from the line.
That's a good call.
Fucking fell out.
Yeah, that's cool.
Fell out the fucking window.
Jake,
patchy.
I already told Hamo I'm busy. All right, mate. Shit.
David Roddy team option. We're not pick Boyd. David Roddy team option. We're not picking this up, surely.
No, I'm actually a little bit pissy at Roddy at the moment. I told you last week I started playing 2K24, and I'm playing pick and roll with him at the moment. That's my staple, and he's fucking shit. He's shit. So I never want to see the cunt again. I never want to see him fucking off.
Do you remember when we got him on the trade? We're all like, "Oh, this is interesting. There's opportunity here. I think there's room for like the same Grayson Allen development for a role player to turn into something useful." And well, we didn't even play him. He didn't play him. We didn't do shit.
Is this Wainwright version 2?
Yes,
I felt
actually,
really
yes.
bad for him. I felt really bad for him when Dwayne Rankin released some warm up video of him, and he's just bricking 3 after 3 after 3 after 3. Well, I don't know if it was a pre-game warm up or just a training thing, but he was just bricking every fucking shot in a row. I'm like, fucking hell, he's got to be a bit dirty. But then I watched
All
him
right,
in the game.
we're moving on.
That's a
We're moving
no
on.
for me
David
on team
Roddy
option.
is not coming back. Damian Lee,
Right.
is he picking up the player option, Boyd?
Yes, 100% he is.
Player option? Oh yeah, he'll pick it up. He has
done
no
him a
market
solid.
value. He has no market value.
No, I think he could get it. I reckon he could get a start somewhere. Maybe not a start, but he
Start?
can get a
Not a
rotation.
start.
No,
Not a start.
What I mean by
idiot.
start is he can get picked up somewhere.
Unless
He
he
can get a
went
start.
to
He can get a
Floyd
fucking.
or Washington. If he went to Washington,
Look,
he'd get a start.
He loves
Yeah,
being
look,
here.
Mate, we done him a solid. We sat him on the fucking. We didn't cut him when he got injured. We did that to fucking what's that? Isaiah fucking Kanan. Remember that cunt? Had a
Oh
gruesome
my
hip
God,
injury,
yeah.
And we cut the cunt straight away. It was like, fuck you, get out.
Yeah, but we also
no.
started him at one
We
point.
did
So
that.
let's
We
not
also
get-
did that to Frank. We also did that to Frank Kaminsky. Cut Frank Kaminsky and signed Ish Wainwright to sit on the bench in the playoffs.
Yeah. But yeah. So look, I think he comes back. I think he's got something to offer this squad with his perimeter shooting. He just has to simplify. He's going to be very rusty. He's going to have a road back to relevance. But I think
he ain't going to Cancun.
I think he will play a rotational role in this squad by the end of next season.
Nate, yes, coming back. No,
I
not.
interjected enough. Of course, he's taking his player option. He loves his fucking team.
But is
I
he
don't think he
coming
wants
back?
to go anywhere.
Are we trading him for another $2 million
For
player?
what? For what? For what? We'd
Yeah,
rather have
Damien.
someone at least
Damien Lee's
for $2 million. He's waving a flag. He's pouring water fucking on people's heads. He's in everyone's ear. He's a team guy. Of course, he's coming back.
He is. He's the bench guy we need. Boyd, Drew Eubanks. Is he picking
I think
up?
he comes back, and then he's as soon as someone's willing to do us a solid and pick him up, I think he's gone. I think he's gone. I think he's yeah.
Nate?
Yeah, I don't see him playing for us next year. Whether he starts with the team or not, I don't see him playing with us. He had an opportunity to be something, and it was flashes in a pan, and we need something consistent. And I don't think there's going to be any excuses made for this team this season. I just got this feeling like we're done with Drew.
Drew picks up his option, and then we cut him and pay him his $2 million. See you later. Out the door.
I think it could be as harsh
Are
as
we
that,
going?
yeah.
Are we going to try and re-sign Bol Boyd?
Yes. Oh,
I think we do.
Oh, you Boyd?
Yeah, I think we do.
Yeah?
I think we do. I just don't know. I think he can probably I think he's got probably better. I reckon he can. That he's a guy I think can get that biannual somewhere. I think he showed
He's
enough.
restricted. Right? He's restricted. So unrestricted, right?
Unrestricted. So
Yeah,
basically,
yeah.
he has to really, for him to take another minimum from us, he can get that slight increment like we spoke about earlier. But for him to take that, he's got to be really, really keen to keep playing under his idol in KD. But I think that there's a team out there that takes a swing on him after they saw what he could do in spurts this season. There's a lot of narrative out there that says that Bol didn't get as much as he should have, and when he was out there, he was respectable. So yeah, I think we try, Gav. I think we try.
Okay, Nate.
I'm going to start with something that's going to sound derogative, but I mean it differently. The guy's soft. But I don't say that in a bad way as such that I think it might lead him back to the team. Because you're right. Other teams are going to take a flyer and maybe offer him a bit more than us. Our fandom seemed to love him. Our team seemed to love him. and he seemed to love being on the team. So I think the easier situation to fix for him is a little bit of internal adjustment rather than a complete change of scenery. So I think he will entertain whatever we offer him over and above what other teams do. I think other teams could offer him a little more.
We can't, can we, Boyd?
What?
What's that?
I'm not.
If he gets offered a MLE, we can't match.
No, we can't match anything. It's just a matter of him wanting to take unders to stay playing under.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. It's not about him taking more money. I think he's got a lot of years ahead of him, and he's in a situation he really likes with a new coach and a little bit of situational adjustment. I think he would do what a lot of those other fuckers that came here in 1 year would do: stay for less money and see what it does for his career.
There's zero chance Bol plays for the Suns next year. That's all I'm going to say. He's going to get paid
you don't
way
like
too.
You're entitled to your opinion.
Way too much money. Way too much money elsewhere, and he's going to take that money.
Well, he's not going to become a better basketballer if he does.
Thad Young gone.
I think he is. I think we squandered that one.
Yep, we fucked that up.
Is Wainwright gone?
I think he is.
That
was a feel good move, but I think he's gone.
I agree with Boyd, but I also think at the end of the day, if they just have to give a salary to someone, they'll give it to him just to sit on the end of the bench and wave the towel.
Isaiah Thomas gone?
Fucking
he's gone as well.
He did not add any value.
These could have gone. Well, Saban Lee's got another contract as a two-way, so I think he's back as a two-way again.
If Saban Lee sits on our bench as a two-way, I don't care because that position doesn't matter. But if he's got an actual roster spot, he should fucking go.
And last but not least, Udoka Azubuike.
He's gone.
I don't think he even has a two-way with us.
He's just
I don't think he's like
Ishbia will suck up the $200,000 to fuck him off.
Well, he will
be
the first.
Not for next year, he doesn't. Not
for next year. So next season, if he's not already locked in as a two-way, I think he's gone. I don't think he's a Mike Budenholzer type center.
I don't think he's an NBA starting 500 people center.
So outside of that, we've spoken about the remainder of the contract. So out of the other four, do we make any major changes out of the other four, which is Durant, Booker, Beal, Nurkic, Boyd?
I think the most probable one is Nurkic. I honestly think he will be, if there is a desire for any other team out there that wants a big physical rebounding presence, I think that there is a world where you'll see one of them picks, either our 22 after it's available on draft night or that 2031 pick, being attached to him to bring something back that suits Mike as a perimeter stretch to floor 5. If that deal is out there, I think it's gone. I think if there is a deal out there, that he will definitely be. That'll be the first name that our brass bring up. But after that, it's KD is probably the next most likely to be discussed.
No
if
chance.
There's going to be No, look, I think that we run it back.
Nate,
but I'm just saying that there is a chance.
He's talking about likelihoods, Nate.
Well, no, let me go back to Nurk. Let me start on KD. Let's think about who brought KD in. Matt Ishbia. Matt Ishbia wins. He does not fucking lose. Right? This is the mentality of the guy worth this much money. He is not going to bring KD in for one season. Absolutely no fucking chance KD goes anywhere. This guy's ego, his reputation is on the line. He is going to back he's going to back his own decision in 1,000 fucking %. There's no way KD goes. when we go back to Nurk, you were right before in saying that we don't have a tradable contract in Nurk. We don't get anything back that's going to match what he produces. The best thing we could get is youth, which we hope to develop up to. Now, I think we're talking about James Jones and not making draft picks and not really being great, apparently, at developing players and shit. I think if Nurk goes, we end up with a lesser center and a project more so. It might be, whatever, because they're not going to get anyone for the salary, like you said. I would rather see Nurk back. I would rather see the same starting five with a different system, with a different second unit, and a chip on their shoulder prove that we don't need to make all the changes. And I don't disagree with your decision or perception on Isaiah Stewart there, Gav. I just think, okay, if you go back a year, do you trade DeAndre Ayton directly for Isaiah Stewart? At the time that you were considering the trade, it's not that great a move. 12 months later,
Yeah, we got additional pieces.
Bit of a dick. Yeah. I understand what you're saying, but I just don't think that moving Nurk for that is the right move.
It's fair. I don't think we move any of those four at all. I think we see those four come back. And Boyd, I said it on the Super Duper pod, outside of periphery moves, the smaller
Peripheral
type moves, peripheral. Outside of the smaller contract type moves, I don't see any changes to our top six, which is KD, Book, Beal, Durant. KD, Book, Beal, Nurkic, Grayson, Royce.
There's a reason Vogel's head rolled.
Everything else is open.
Our owner has a massive ego, and the coach goes. That's the scapegoat. He's wearing the sins of all the players.
Yeah, I agree. I'm not going to disagree with that. All right, last question before we go to our favourite segments. Boy,
flogging and beers.
Do we trade pick 22 and 2031 first rounder?
Both, yes. Whether it'll be on draft night, or
Draft night?
leading up to the trade deadline. But they're both gone before the trade deadline next season. Both of them gone.
I think it'll have to be well before trade deadline. We can only trade them as stackable pieces until we sign them to contracts.
That's right.
So we can trade a piece with those two picks. We could trade a piece with those two picks as long as we don't trade the as long as we don't sign the picks, right?
Yeah, so it has to be done, and there's a cool down before when you have to make that draft, that number 22 draft pick official, and then it starts coming off of the cap. So leading up to that time, before you sign it, it can be traded as a zero value, and it's still just the pick.
And then we can couple in 31 after trade night or draft night as well, right?
Yeah, we can. So yeah, I think they're both gone.
I'm caught up on two mind links on this one. My first one I want to go with is emotional, and I really want us to draft a young player and actually put some time into him. I'm just really sick of watching James Jones let everything go, make wrong choices when he does gamble it, and then let everything fucking fly. I don't like anything I hear, read, or see about this draft. I'm not sold on offering Bronny a draft pick. So it probably makes sense to trade it because this.
But someone might.
Yeah, someone might. So it probably makes sense to float it out there for some LeBron-loving motherfucking organization. So I probably don't see it happening. I probably see us all sitting there on draft night going, oh, there it goes again. Yeah, fucking whatever. It'd just be nice to see something young, brought in and developed again. It's been a while.
So
Kamara.
Rui Konoko. Our next episode will be potential trade and draft type picks. We'll kind of have a look at.
Talking about Walker Kessler?
Yeah, which I would absolutely
absolutely consider. What would that be on the table for, though? Shit.
But Walker Kessler it's another Nurkic. He doesn't spread the floor.
Yeah, that's my only issue. I love Walker Kessler, but that's my only issue. Is
not every
he's a better
fucking
defensive
man.
player.
Stop trying to find the unicorn in a stack of fucking shit. Take someone that's got a few notable fucking things you can work with and just work with it.
I could try and find anything I like, Nathan.
All right. You look through my career. You look through my career from all the fucking shit food I get over here. I haven't had a solid shit in 2 years. Fucking hell.
Back on track. Let's not talk about Nate's shit. Yeah, we'll talk about that later. I'm with Boyd. I think we trade those picks, and that's where I look at the Grayson, Allen, Nurkic contracts and what potentially is out there tied to that.
That's what we need to do.
Pretty much.
Hey, Coda Kids with it.
If we want to win a flag, a premiership, a NBA title, we talk about a flag over here in Australia.
That's because in the off season, all we do is watch AFL, not like that NRL shit.
The Bombers are dominating. That's all I got to say.
You're as surprised as everyone else.
Flag dons.
Well, let's wrap this up.
An
hour and 20 minutes.
Everyone in this room for a drop of sweet beer.
So, Homer, please feel free to tell us anything.
Who do you want to have a beer with, Boyd? Me after tonight.
I want to have a beer. I want to have a beer with Fizdale. He's got a front office job with us.
He doesn't. He knocked it back.
Are you serious?
Yeah. They offered him a job and he knocked it back.
When did that happen, Gavin?
The day after the story was released, they basically came out and went, Fizdale not interested in front office job.
Oh, okay.
I'll take
well,
it.
in that case, I still want to have
I'll take it.
Find out what. Like, that seems like a real fucking like a good move for Fizdale, which I don't rate him too much as a coach. But like, if he was offered a front office job, you'd think that that'd be an uptick in what he was doing. I mean, the players weren't listening to him at the end of the day. But yeah, if he got that little bit of extra stick in the front office, I just don't know why he wouldn't take that. So I want to have a beer with him and just say, dude, what the fuck is going on, man? What's scaring you off?
Fair. That's fair. Nate, who do you want to have a beer with?
You're going to have to hear me out on this one because it kind of sounds like a flog.
We're listening.
But I want to have a beer with Steve Voss's ass. So our good friend in the chat, Steve Voss, decided to randomly late last night add me to, I think, 5 different group chats as an admin with other people invited in. I have no, and literally the shining light of it was, hi Claire Trotter, because he's added some other hot chick in there for every group. And at the end of it, I'm like, Steve, what is going on? He's like, I've got a really fucking shit phone. It was in my pocket. It's blame my ass. So I guess, Steve's ass was trying to fix me up, even though, probably don't need that right now. Yeah, so I'll have a beer with Steve Voss's very intelligent Facebook adding ass.
Well done, Bossy's ass. Boy, who do you want to have a beer with?
I just told you. It's
Yeah.
Fister.
Oh,
Yeah, so we're on a
Yeah,
flog. Let's
sorry.
flog it up.
I've had too many beers. I want to have a beer with the dude who flew the plane into Newcastle today and landed it
shit.
without a landing gear.
Oh shit! You went straight onto the news. All right.
Like this dude,
Fuck.
King Island Airways, no landing gear, landed an aircraft without injuring any of his passengers. Like
There were only
Hudson
three.
River style. Hudson, who cares?
There were
Hudson
three
River
passengers.
No, hey, look, Captain, what's his fucking name? He landed on the Hudson with lots of passengers, but he had a landing gear. This dude had no landing gear and landed a plane on a runway without killing the people inside. That's fucking impressive. I want to have a beer with that dude and go, what the fuck was going through your mind, mate? You were cannoning in on a plane and landed without fucking wheels. That's amazing.
Nice.
I would
Nice.
love if he was sitting there one-handed with a whiskey flask in one hand while he's doing it.
I hope he was. I hope he went, fuck it. I am going to scull this bottle of Jimmy and see what happens. That would have been fucking even more amazing. But well done, pal. Hey,
Well
mate,
done. You
Time
saved.
for the flog of the week, and trust me, they are ugly, very unattractive. Google their face when you're done here.
who's your flog of the week, Nate?
Well, I wasn't prepared for flog of the week, so I told you at the start of the episode, whenever I need a flog of the week last minute, I go straight to Clutch Points because that place is just for fucking rubbish. And then, of course, Stephen A. Smith pops up with his, Anthony Edwards is the best two-way guard in the league right now. Well, fucking, is that really fucking a hot take? Shit. Is that really headline fucking news? And I thought, well, that's not Stephen A. Smith's fault. That's the stupid fucking idiot on Clutch Sports that fucking wrote it. And then I found his name, and it took me 7 minutes to say it. Fabian Diego Miguel de la Pez quoted Stephen A. Smith and wrote an entire article around Anthony Edwards being the second best two-way guard right now because Stephen A. Smith said it. Flog.
Boyd.
My flog, and I forgot what it was, but I quickly came up with another one. It's Jake at Fallen Founder from the Suns Planet podcast.
Fucking bastard.
And you want to know why he's a flog?
Hey, I really hope this is about the time that they did the last pod when none of those three.
The cunt didn't do the pod, and he makes Hemo get up at 2 a.m. Australian time. You can host it, Hemo, but you still have to get up at fucking 2 a.m. and do that
And
fucking
the
thing.
other two,
I was on this pod.
Cunt.
Hold on. The other two guests, it was midnight, their time.
Yeah, because it was me and the
Jake's
Filipino. It was me and the Filipino, Kevin.
Jake's,
Like it was
Jake's,
middle of the night
Jake's
for
sitting
all
back.
three people on that pod.
Jake's sitting back and he's just smoking his cigar like he does. He's just smoking his cigar and he's gone to bed. He's stubbed it out and he's going, "That's right, cunts. I'm the fucking big dog around here and you do what you're told."
Probably
He's
having a
just
point
fucking-
too. He's probably
got
sitting
that
there. He
fucking-
probably didn't even put the cigar out, man, because that's
He's got that
unclassy.
Marlon Brando.
You got to finish it till
that
it's a
fucking-
nub. So he's probably
He's
pull
got
it
the
off
Marlon
and he's
Brando.
finishing that little nub.
He's got the cotton in the cheeks. He's doing the Godfather thing.
I still think you need to do it in the middle of the night. Your time.
Yes. What a
Do
cunt.
you think he talks himself to sleep in a Trump accent?
Yeah.
Like
Oh,
when he's counting sheep, do you think he does it in a Trump accent?
well, I don't know, mate.
Good chance. Good chance.
But he's a boss. That's for fucking sure.
My flog of the week is Rudy Gobert. Rudy, amazing effort. You told everyone that you were the defensive player of the year. You
4
had a
times over, same
fantastic
as Redondo.
season. You had a fantastic season as a defensive player. But since you have walked in to fucking Nikola Jokic's house, you missed game 2. And the last 2 games, he has owned you like you are a baby wearing a fucking nappy. You are not a defensive player's piece of shit. If you were really a defensive player, you could stop this guy because you're a defensive player. He is owning your ass. Fucking man up. Stop being a French fucking whiny mole and either take your team home and claim that shit or fuck off back to France.
Gav, you need to go back to copying other people's takes, my man. That was pretty poor. Defensive player of the year is not a defensive player's piece of shit.
I would actually love to see Dikembe Mutombo in his prime versus Rudy Gobert now.
Dikembe
I
Mutombo
would love to see
would
it.
actually play defense. Rudy Gobert is a fucking faker.
Both have 4 defensive title of the year awards, though.
It's disgusting. Boyd, where do we find your last comments?
Find me at Boots83 or at In My Garage right now. Sweating my ass off.
Nate.
Well, seeing how Boyd mentioned sweating your ass off, I am in Singapore. The weather is the middle of summer and it is extremely fucking stupid right now. Let's just say my electricity bill for this month alone was $450. It's normally $250. That's how friggin' hot it is here. And I met Nikki's Falcon on the socials.
Follow, like, subscribe, do all the fun stuff at Aussie Suns Fans on Twitter/X, at Aussie Suns Fans on YouTube. Do all that fun stuff. Help us out. It's what we need.
Can I jump back in?
Oh my God. Yes.
So I was leaving an Ash comment till the end. So Ash made a comment very early on the pod, and I didn't comment on it. You didn't pop it up, so I thought I'd just leave it right to the garbage bit of our pod, which progressively it gets more garbage. He was commenting on my shirt, and I just wanted a chance to show off. He was saying that it's a hot shirt. This was actually Devin Booker's warm-up jersey for one of the games that I went to. I want to say my good friend, but he might remember me. Jay, the equipment manager, threw it at me right to the point where you can see the sleeve ripped off because Devin Booker always rips his sleeve off. He had his number written up on here, number 1. So, Ash, this was actually Devin Booker's warm-up jersey, and now I just wear it around for pleasure. Sorry, back. I just wanted to throw that in.
I couldn't have waited till the end, or
This is the end. Go fuck some spiders.
we are undertaking legal action on comedy shows around Australia that are claiming that they're not there to fuck spiders. But we all know the only people who are not here to fuck spiders are the Aussie Suns fans. Good night. Good evening. And just know that we are not here to fuck spiders.
Chris Paul gets in, another wide open 3.
Pierre Cardin.
Defers to Booker for the long range.
P-H-O-E-N-I-X. Phoenix Suns, and you know we up next. Yeah, we working for that championship ring. We the valley, it ain't nothing but a thing. P-H-O-E-N-I-X. Phoenix Suns, and you know we up next. Yeah, we working for that championship ring. We the valley, it ain't nothing but a